Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 128. Today's date is January 23rd, 2022, and I am Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I am Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
And Ripple Effect, a huge amount. Got a Guardian shop built, which I'm actually really proud of. One of the cool things I designed for the shop, the first thing I designed was the Guardian eye on the front, and it was going to move left and right. So it would constantly be looking at people as they walked by. And then I ended up building the shop and realized I didn't need any redstone to make the eye follow people. The forced perspective of how I built it made the eye follow people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed when I saw it the first time that it was kind of looking at you when you were approaching the shop from the side.
Yep.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I was super happy with that. That whole shop build, for the most part, I'm really happy with, except for the ceiling. The ceiling's pretty much garbage. Me and Carl were talking about that last night. I kind of have an idea of how to fix it, so I might go in and fix it next episode. Other than that, I did some netherite hunting. I mostly netherited all out now.
Ooh.
There's a couple of tools and stuff. I hit a good lucky streak, man. I just basically dug in a straight line, and if I hit lava, I moved to the left or right and just kept digging. And then when I got tired of digging, I would come back that straight line, just kind of like looking at the wall, so you basically break 4 or 5 blocks out.
Mm-hmm.
And basically in one pickaxe, one durability diamond pickaxe, I got 25 ancient debris.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I got real lucky. Made a bunch of netherite armor. I'm moving while talking. Carl can get mad at me for that. That was good. I'm designing a nether portal entrance for my base. Right now, my portal is just kind of plopped in the middle of a field. Not very good. So, working on the entrance. I'm using the Wandering Trader shop. If you remember my shop design from last year,
yeah,
I'm I call perfecting it, because I built that one. That one was supposed to be taller. But if I went any taller, I'd end up blocking the windows of the Withering Effect studios. So I had to basically like chop the roof off for that one. So now that I don't have to worry about that, I'm building basically the Wandering Trader as I originally intended it, with a roof and everything. So that's going to be fun. And finally, we went in busting.
Yeah.
Which was a lot better time than I thought it was going to be. We found a ton of end cities, and Jimbo killed me.
Yep, I did. By accident.
Oh, yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah, let's make a note of that. That was by accident. You were, matter of fact, I'll give you my perspective. I see these 2 shulkers that are underneath this bridge. They're under this bridge. They're kind of hard to see, and you're flying around looking for them.
Yeah.
You're looking for them, and I'm at the bottom, and I see them. I was like, there they are, so I start shooting at them, and you're flying around and went right into my arrow. Flew right into the arrow, and I was like, oh, no. And I have a pretty nice bow, and what you had half a heart, but you were burning also because I have a flame bow, and ended up killing you.
Yeah.
But lucky enough, you know, we did have enough shulkers and everything for me to grab everything, put it into my ender chest, and bring it to you. So you didn't lose anything except levels, of course.
Yeah, and levels are easy to get back.
A little bit of pride.
There was no pride lost. I mean, that was a hilarious way to end the stream, because we were
right.
all but essentially done at that point. We literally said, this is our last end city. Those were the last 2 shulkers. So it's like, you know what? Whatever. I died. It made for a funny clip. It doesn't help. My cool hat is really cool, but it gives me no armor protection. So like the shulker bullets would take me down to like almost half health to start with.
Wow.
So your one arrow basically took me down to half a heart, and then the fire tick of being on fire killed me.
So you had full health when I hit you?
No.
Okay.
The shulker bullet had just hit me as I was flying in.
Okay.
And then your arrow hit me, and then the fire tick, I basically went dead. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, you might not want to take that hat to the end. There was an advantage with the hat, though.
There was a huge advantage to the end. No Enderman could look me in the eyes.
Right, which I had an issue with Enderman.
Yeah.
One funny part I want to mention.
Yeah.
You found this city. We kind of split up a little bit. We were kind of heading the same way, but we split up.
Yeah, cover more ground.
Yeah, but we wanted to kind of stay together because of the lag and stuff. But it was running pretty good through the end. So you found the city. I'm like, oh man, I don't see it. So you told me the chords, and I started heading there. And here I ended up at the city, and I start taking out the shells while you're at the end ship, and I get in trouble with an Enderman, and he's got me down to like a heart. I keep flying away, I keep coming back, and he's right there on me. And here I have to get food out because I ran out of food, and I'm like almost dying here. And you are looking for me to help me.
Yeah,
with this Enderman.
I was going to build you a little safety platform.
Yeah. Here, we're at 2 different end cities because I noticed the ship had shulkers on it that you've already taken care of. Yeah. And I thought it was hilarious. We're looking for each other for like 10 minutes, and we're not even in the same spot.
Yeah, we're in 2 end cities that were only about 100 blocks away from each other, just outside of render distance.
Yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. Thought I'd bring it up. It's worth the watch. It is, the stream.
Definitely. But other than that, that's kind of been my week. How about you?
Yeah, besides the end rating I did with you. Pretty much there the whole stream with you. It was a good time. I was able to release my episode this weekend, which made it a week from my last episode. So I'm kind of back on schedule.
Nice.
I even have plans for my next episode. Yeah, I got a lot more time now. So it's going a lot more smooth. I have some ideas popping up. So it's not like, I got this block in my head to what I'm going to do. I have ideas. I have farms I want to build. Matter of fact, this episode I built probably the smallest iron farm I've ever seen.
It is super tiny.
The design had it 5x7, but I was counting it out. It's 5x6. I'm like, man, this thing's even smaller than the tutorial said because I moved around. Well, actually, it's 6x6 because I moved the chest to the side, but eventually I'm going to move those chests underneath to make it a 5x6 iron farm. Able to trade with the villagers, which wasn't on the tutorial, kind of switched that up. But yeah, it works great. I have a bunch of iron now. I AFK'd last night. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with that. Got a bunch of different farms in mind. On this server, because our currency is the Ripcoin instead of diamonds, I'm kind of poor. I'm pretty poor. I don't have a shop. I don't have any income coming in. So I plan on trying to make my base sustainable to where I don't have to spend as much. There are some things I'm going to have to buy. But yeah, I'll probably have a small shop. I'm thinking about selling wood. We don't have anyone. I think there are actually people selling wood, but I want to there's not much of it.
Yeah.
For one. For two, it's something I haven't done before. I've never made a wood farm. I'm thinking about doing manually. Honestly, it seems like there's a lot of work to put in for a wood farm, AFK wood or auto wood farm. That gives you 1 or 2 types of wood. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to sell wood, I want to sell all the wood. So I'm really thinking about setting up a huge area underground and, make it look real nice and just make it a big wood farming area. That's the idea. And I actually might get onto that next episode. And how much time I got.
I can tell you the auto wood farm me and Carl built last season wasn't too bad. And that did basically every tree but dark oak, double spruce, and acacia.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah, acacia's the issue there. That's going to be, even manually, it's not fun.
No.
Just because they're grown every which way. Dark oak and, the double wide spruce, you get a lot of. It doesn't take much time to gather a good bit of that. So, yeah, I'm definitely considering something like that. At least get most of the trees out of the way. And then you got your nether trees. They had to give you those to where that's a thing now.
Yeah.
Considering selling that too. So, yeah, still going to have to think about all that. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week.
All right. Well, let's hop in the news because we actually have some Java news this week.
Right.
There's a snapshot out.
There's a snaps.
My nose is just absolutely stopped up. I don't know why we record early in the morning because my nose doesn't become unclogged till about 2 p.m.
Right. But that's football time.
Yep. Bucks play at 3 p.m. today. Oh, no, Carl. Oh, no.
We're breaking the rules, duds.
Oh, jeez.
It's snapshot time. We got
snapshot time. Okay. We got snapshot 18 Well, it's really 22W03A, but it's for 18.2. So 118.2. We're not going into 119 yet. We're not getting any wild update stuff yet. There's some changes, like a seed number of 0 is no longer handled as a special case. Not sure what that means, but
no clue.
Awesome. Spaces before and after an inputted seed will now be trimmed. I guess they're cutting down on characters. A lot of things to do with seeds. And ender chests no longer look like Christmas presents when it's Christmas time, which I actually like.
Yeah.
Because if you forget where you put your ender chest, it looks like all the other ones.
Right. Or at least, make it a different type of wrap present, you would think. But
Yep.
Yeah. That's a minor change. Some minor changes.
Yeah.
There are technical changes, though.
Mm-hmm.
They have locate. The locate command now uses a name-spaced ID perimeter.
Yeah, I think that's just like the Minecraft thing. You see it in a lot of the commands now.
Yeah, they added the command place feature.
Yep.
Also, is it like a creative mode thing?
So, like, say you wanted to add a 2x2 spruce tree. You could use place feature and name the tree.
Yep.
You wanted to do a desert well. You could place a desert well.
But it's got to be on sand.
Yeah.
Some of these things you want to place, you have to be in a certain location.
It has to have the parameters.
Yeah, right. The geode, you'd have to be in the ground to place these. You just can't place it in the middle of nowhere.
Correct. You have to hit certain parameters. And you can't do structures. Like, you can't say Guardian Temple. You can't make that up here.
Right. Except that desert well. That was kind of weird. I see that as a structure.
Well, the desert well is considered a feature and not a structure. But we call it a structure. We've done mending Minecraft on it as if it's a structure.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely lean towards structure. I mean,
yeah,
that's the category I put it in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I kind of like that change. I mean, for the creative minds.
I mean, it's good for map makers.
That too.
There's a lot of updates that are going towards map makers now.
Mm-hmm.
For us, it won't change our day-to-day life, but if it makes somebody else's life just a little bit easier, sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's going to write a command block that you place down and it'll build an entire map here soon.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't, at least not on the notes here, bug issues, that have been fixed.
I looked through the bug list and I didn't see a lot that stood out to me.
Yeah, the one issue we're having on the server, this could be a server thing though. I don't know if it's a Minecraft thing, or portals. When people go through portals, man, there's a big lag spike. And there doesn't have to be a lot of people on either. So hopefully they look into that. I don't know if it was brought up.
I don't think that's a Mojang thing. I think that's a fabric thing that we're using.
Okay, that makes sense.
If I remember correctly how we're using it, basically our dimensions only load when we enter them. So you know how when you join the world, it takes it a second because it's got to load all the packs and stuff. You get the big red Mojang resource pack load thing. Well, it's doing that every time we go through a portal too.
Yeah, right.
So that's what we're getting, and I think that's what's causing the little lag spike. The thing is, it looks like you're falling to your death, but you're not.
Yeah, every time.
If you just understand, give it a second.
Right. Yeah, we do have a good bit of mods on our server this year.
But the funny thing is, a lot of the mods are performance mods.
Mm-hmm.
They're there to try to make the server run a bit smoother.
Yeah. They did mention after they push the 118.2, they're going to be starting on the wild update snapshots.
Yep.
So that's exciting.
Yep. Frog lights.
Yes.
That don't look like frogs.
No, not really. I'm thinking they kind of resemble like the underbelly when they croak.
Yeah, I think that's what they were trying to do too.
Yeah.
But I think that texture just needs a bit of work.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big thing. I love a lot of the wild update features, but a lot of the wild update textures don't feel right.
Yeah, there was the, what was it, that wood root, just root block, I think it is.
Yeah, the rooted mangrove or something like that.
Yeah, it's in the swamp area. But I could see us getting the biomes updated in the snapshots before they give us the deep dark. I don't see us getting the deep dark for a couple of snapshots.
Oh yeah, that's last.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to reveal some things with that. But it's definitely an exciting time. Every time they give us the new update, we got to see what's in store for the wild update.
Mm-hmm.
There's always some more. There's always more they give us that they don't show us when they release these. So I'm excited to see what else is in store.
Yeah, if you follow King B Dogs on Twitter, he's been posting some like early renders of what the Warden looked like when they called it the Stalker, and it's more creepy than the Warden. That's for sure. It's it's got this oblong head where the head is almost as tall as the body, and it kind of walks around. It's got the mouth and the stomach with teeth that move and stuff. And then all of a sudden, when it gets down into like what I call attack prey mode, the head will like fall all the way back, and it gets down on its arms and legs, like it's got 4 legs, and then the teeth are in the front still moving around. It's like, oh yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Just as terrifying, probably more terrifying actually.
Yeah, that looks like it for the news. I'm ready for some wild update stuff.
Yeah,
give us some more of that.
Yeah, me too.
But let's hop into some listener comments. We have some of those this week. The first one is going to be from Diveclops. They say, would y'all ever do a video series of like playing an old version of Minecraft like alpha or beta and progressing every so episodes to the next one? Like episode 10, for example, changes to alpha 1.2 or something. Doing that until modern Minecraft 1.18.1. I did think about doing this at one point.
It's not a bad idea.
I would do like every episode would be like the next update.
Even the point.
Yeah. And obviously I would be trying to do what the big thing of the update was. So like whenever you get to update 1.9, obviously you're fighting the Ender Dragon there because that's when the end changed and stuff.
Yeah.
1.8 would be doing a Guardian Temple.
Eventually you'd go to the Deep Dark.
Yeah. But I think that somebody's already done series like that. I know Green was working on like an SMP of that at one point.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I think I've heard that idea before. Not too sure. Yeah, it's not bad. I could see it being a nice single player thing. I don't know if SMP would be ideal.
Mm-hmm.
You imagine a bunch of people on 1.1. Like, what would you do?
I made cobblestone.
I'm making a wood shop. No, I'm making a wood shop.
Exactly.
Be funny. Should I read mine?
Yeah, go for it.
I haven't even actually looked at this question. This is from Mr LoopyPants.
It's a long question. If you want a gist of it, look towards the bottom.
I don't know where to. I'm just going to read it all.
Okay.
Mr LoopyPants. Love the name. Says, I have a question. Do you think villages should have a structure that is randomized? Like a structure that would only pop up in a certain village? In certain villages? Like in a desert village, there would be like a Western theme house, or like a bank or some Western themed building. And in Plains villages, there would be a watchtower or a statue that would only pop up in Plains village, and it would be randomized. So it would pop up in every Plains village. I'm basically asking if each biome village should have a structure, its own structure. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that.
Well, I mean, some already do. Like if you go to what I call the winter villages, those have igloos in them.
Yeah.
Taiga villages, the buildings are definitely distinct. I think those are more, they have like those blacksmith armor stand sections.
I was just going to say that. That's the only place I saw the armor stand section.
Same. So it's like, if you're trying to do every village should have a custom structure, yeah, they're already like halfway there. But I would be more wanting every biome should have a village first.
Yeah.
Why don't we have jungle villages? People live in the jungles. That's the thing. We have jungle villagers.
Mm-hmm. And swamps. We actually got a swamp update coming, so hopefully
they'll
throw some villages in there.
Oh, that would be a good thing to plop in a update. If you're updating the swamp, throw a swamp village in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm really curious. They didn't really say what all they were, updating, what biomes. Hopefully they hit all the biomes, but yeah, it'd be cool.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, think about it. We're already into the next year. We haven't got a single wild snapshot yet. The Minecon Live is September, October in that range, it's a short amount of time to try to do any kind of turnaround.
Yeah.
The only thing that might be helping them is because they pushed the Deep Dark back from Caves and Cliffs Part 2, is that hopefully they got further into development of the Deep Dark and that it's well flushed out by now.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely see quite a few snapshots coming. Seems like a big one, especially if they hit, I mean, we know of 2 biomes. So
yeah,
even those 2 might take some, what's the word I'm looking for, touching up on. I'm trying to think of what structures could be in some of these villages. I really like the watchtower.
I was going to say, I like the watchtower for the Plains village.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of get that with the church, at least, because you can climb all the way to the top of it. And it is the tallest structure in the village.
Yeah, similar to a tower.
But it would be a good way to naturally introduce scaffolding into the world.
You mean on the sides of the tower?
Yeah, like build the watchtower out of scaffolding.
Okay.
I'll talk about this more when we get to mending Minecraft.
Yeah, it'd be cool if like some structures in the village weren't built yet and you saw like some scaffolding next to them.
Exactly.
And they're like halfway built.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool to see. Yeah, I'm always down for more structures. You know, give me anything new, especially with villages.
Yeah.
Yeah, the watchtower. I like that.
I do too. I'm trying to come up with one for what they call it, Savannah. A Savannah village. What would be a cool structure for one of those?
Savannah, I think of like Safari.
I do too.
I think of Savannah. Then Badlands, I think of Western.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Badlands needs to have a saloon.
Mm-hmm.
The watchtower would actually work out really well in Savannah. Oh no. Okay. So there are village types in Savannahs in real life that use like really spiky and prickly bushes as fences.
Okay.
So if you could put berry bushes in a savanna, but they don't grow all the way, like you can't get berries from berry bushes in the savanna. They grow with no berries.
Yeah.
You could have those surrounding villages as if it's a fence, a protection fence.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
Actually be useful too.
Yeah.
Protecting all them villagers. But, you know, villagers, they're going to run right into them.
But last thing we got is a comment from, I think it was like Apple Podcasts or something. Carl was telling me about this last night. Someone said that I had to be playing on the Bedrock or Windows 10 version of Minecraft because I play with a controller and you cannot play with a controller on Java. Guys, you can ask Jimbo. I'm playing on Java with a controller. It's 100% possible.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I use a program called Rewasd, Rewasd. It basically, I can program keystrokes from a keyboard and mouse into my controller. I love the program to death. If they ever want to reach out, talk some sponsorships, I'll promote the crap out of that program because it is quite literally the best program I've ever seen. And I love it to death.
Yeah.
Free promotion. If you want to play Java with a controller, Rewasd. I think I paid $10 for it at the start, and I bought the premium version of it. I think you can get it for $5 too.
After playing on the controller, it did take a minute to get used to the keyboard and mouse.
Yep.
But after a while, you know, you adjust. So when I joined Commicraft, that was like, I might have been a month in, or even less than that of being on the keyboard. And even then, you know, it took me a little bit just to like defend myself properly and, you know, fight off mobs and stuff. But yeah, controllers definitely, I mean, you're used to it. You know, we've grown up from the Nintendo using a controller.
Oh yeah, we're console kids.
Right. You know, a lot of teens nowadays have adjusted to the keyboard and mouse, but we're not teens anymore, unfortunately.
Nope.
But yeah, it takes a little while to get used to.
Yeah.
But controllers are definitely possible. I was considering it, but I was like, man, I'd hate to, I just adjusted to the keyboard and mouse. I don't want to go back.
Yeah. But Jimbo's saying is he doesn't want to be weird like me.
Right.
All the cool kids use a keyboard and mouse.
Now, I don't follow the cool kids.
But no, you can use a controller for Java.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes third-party programs. It works fine. I use Xbox One controller. which is honestly starting to die. It's going to get close time to replace it, which I'm not looking forward to. I put a lot of work into this controller to make it the way I want.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
There's a lot you can do on the PC version, on a PC in general. You'd be surprised.
Oh, yeah. So much customization in the Java version. That's why Java is still like one of the big programs you see content creators using.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the customization, all the things you can do, the entertainment value is way higher.
Right.
Everyone's like, but Bedrock's the most played. Yeah, but I've seen your iron farms. You can't tell me it's better.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's due to lack of PCs. It's not cheap to have a PC.
No, and I think you're right. Remember, we grew up console kids. Consoles are way easier to get.
Mm-hmm.
They're way more accessible for new gamers. So it's a lot easier to get Minecraft for your Switch and play it around. And man, I would love to be able to put ripple effect on a Switch and be able to play it while I go.
Right.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I know technically you can do it nowadays. There's, what do they call it? There's programs you can attach to a server to allow Bedrock players to join Java servers.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You can do that now.
Hmm.
I don't want to try to make our server do that and risk breaking stuff for unnecessary reasons because I want to be lazy and play Minecraft on the couch.
Yeah, you think stuff would break? Huh.
WyreGuy is listening live and he's commenting that he can fit 10 of Jimbo's farms in his farm. Yep.
Micro farms.
Java iron farms are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for those questions, Diveclops and Mr LoopyPants. Those comments were from our Discord. And it's the only place you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take Rebel JC's word for it.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Rebel JC, and I'd love for you to join our Discord community. Whether it's taking part in our Mending Minecraft vote, sharing your thoughts and opinions on Minecraft, or just chatting with like-minded listeners, the Withering Effect Discord has something for everyone. Join today by following the link in the show notes.
Thank you for the Discord ad, Rebel JC. And speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in our Mending Minecraft vote. This week we asked you guys to choose between one of 3 structures for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were the shipwreck, an in the city, or an igloo.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is Igloo. It was actually pretty close between the igloo and the end city.
It was.
At first I thought it was the end ship because the picture had the end ship on it. But yeah, it was the city in general.
Yeah.
I was like, man, how isn't the end ship winning this? But yeah.
How did End City not win this?
Yeah, that too. I'm surprised the igloo pulled away. I think it was actually in the lead for the whole time. The end city just started catching up.
Yeah.
The igloo had 26 votes, 22 for the end city, and 10 for the shipwreck. So a few things on the igloo. Igloos are structures that are naturally generated in snowy biomes. They are small round structures constructed primarily of snow blocks. Just inside the igloo contains a bed, furnace, and crafting table. In half of all igloos, an oak trapdoor can be found under the carpet leading down to a long ladder shaft to a basement. In this basement, there is a brewing stand, cauldron, and a chest along with a villager and a zombie villager. The cauldron is 2/3 full, and the brewing stand contains a splash potion of weakness. And some notable loot found in the igloo basement is the golden apple and emeralds. There's also coal in there, just because it's so hard to get hold of.
Mm-hmm. Coal's really hard.
Yeah, but the reason for the villager and the zombie villager in the basement is to pretty much show the player how to convert, because it says you're going to get a golden apple, like you're guaranteed a golden apple in that chest. And like I mentioned, you get that splash potion of weakness. Those two combined cures the villager.
And that's exactly one of the things I want to express in my Mending Minecraft update. But first thing is, when you do research on igloos, the big thing that comes up is like there are 3 different sizes of igloos. You have the small size igloo, which is what I would consider our Minecraft igloo to be, which is not supposed to be a permanent structure. They say someone can build that igloo in like an hour in real life. So, and then you have the medium size igloo, which is a semi-permanent structure. And then you have a large igloo, which is a permanent dwelling. All of them built essentially the same. The large igloo can hold up to 20 people.
Ooh.
Which is just nuts.
Got like different rooms in it?
No, not really.
Really? Just one open igloo?
One big open area.
Wow.
Also, did you know it can, like an igloo, the interior can be like 60 degrees Fahrenheit inside?
Yeah, I know it can get pretty warm.
Crazy.
Yeah, especially with the fireplace.
But coming up with ways to improve the igloo. Like, again, Minecraft kind of nailed the igloo, guys. In City was an easy one. But I want to go with what you said. They're using the igloo to teach you about curing villagers. So what are some other things that we could put down there to teach Minecraft players that aren't obvious? If you're not watching YouTube over and over again, you might not know about bubble vaders. I mean, soul sand and magma blocks are from the nether. Why would you think to put a water source on top of those to see what happens? So that could be cool. That could be something to show off. You could show off a gem sheep. I know that's kind of supposed to be
Easter egg.
Yeah, an Easter egg or whatever. So maybe not so much that one. Johnny's, again, that's another Easter egg, but it's a useful Easter egg. Also, it kind of feels like woodland mansions are a bit rare nowadays. I can't remember the last time I saw one naturally.
No, I've never came across one.
So it might be cool to have one of those guys locked up in one of those cells too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really hard to come up with stuff with igloos. The only other thing I can say is everything I read on igloos said they don't put the beds on the ground like we do in Minecraft. The beds are up in the air because heat rises.
Didn't it? Well, I knew heat rose, but that's a good point.
Yeah. So stop putting your Minecraft beds on the ground in an igloo.
It's cold down there.
It's cold down there. Get up there. Get up to the ceiling.
Well, I brought up, having a fireplace in there. Why don't they throw, igloos were made before the fireplace came out, but maybe they should add one of those to an igloo. You kind of got everything inside the igloo. It doesn't just show you about the villager thing. It gives you all the necessary things you need for like a starter base. Like I said, you have your bed, furnace, and crafting table.
Yep.
Those are your 3 main things you need to pretty much make it through to survive the beginning of a world. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a fireplace in there too. You look a little cozy.
I mean, even a campfire or something.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Campfire.
That's kind of it. I didn't have a lot of ideas for it. I mean, igloos are kind of very simple structures, and Mojang made it a very simple structure. The only thing I could think of would be variations of said structure. Remember, I'm not trying to create whole new things in mending Minecraft. I'm trying to add on to what we already have, and variations are great. So I like to see that, especially if you're in the ice plains, coming across a larger igloo would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
People would be farming ice out there. That would be a semi-permanent dwelling as they travel back and forth delivering their ice.
Yeah, and depending on the igloo size or shape or randomization, you get these, like you said, different Easter eggs. Kind of, show you a little bit about some hidden features. I guess it wouldn't be hidden feature, but it's something you just don't know of that you could use.
Yeah, less obvious features.
Right. Yeah, and I like the fact that it's random. Not every igloo gives you these basements. So, I know, I kind of like that. You get excited, then you go in there, you're kind of let down, but it's more fun of the challenge of finding the one. Even though, I mean, once you're so far ahead in the game, it's really useless to find one of these. There are infested blocks in there.
Yep.
Downstairs. So I guess if you wanted a silverfish, you could find some down there also. Mm-hmm. That's another thing didn't get to mention.
And see, that's kind of the big problem with Minecraft now, is that the game's been around so long and the players have become so good at the game that after the first week, a lot of the structures and the loot and stuff just aren't worth it anymore.
Yeah.
And I think Mojang's taking this into account with the Deep Dark. I think that's why we're getting the Deep Dark we're getting now instead of the Deep Dark we saw in Caves and Cliffs.
Yeah, they could add like another level.
Right. So I think there's some planning going into that.
That's a good point.
That's all I got for Mending Minecraft. Should we go into our topic?
Yeah, that's everything from me.
All right. So this topic was come up with at 2 a.m. last night.
For me, it was like 9 o'clock.
This one was a bit of a rough one. We were tossing ideas back and forth, me and Carl were, and nothing was really sticking. Nothing felt like it would be fun to talk about. There was a lot of, well, if we talk about this, it kind of feels like we're grinding on the game for no good reason, and we don't want to do that. We want to add on to the game a bit. And so one of the ideas I had was, at first it was 3 magical items you'd like to see in the game, because I want magic to progress in Minecraft. I think that's kind of an untapped potential.
Same. I
think we're seeing that with the mob vote. I think we're seeing that a bit with the Deep Dark. So I'd like to see some magical items, but then I realized, well, that's really hard to come up with 3 good ones that make sense in the game.
Yeah, at that point you can come up with anything, but it could be so off the wall to where, like you said, it just doesn't make sense.
I want a magical scepter that shoots laser beams. Well, that doesn't make sense in Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're a guardian who, maybe you can kill a guardian, take its eye, and put it on top of a scepter. Now you can shoot laser beams from your scepter. See, I made it make sense. We're good.
Okay, so scepter's 1.
So we got 3 of them here. I'm going to start with my number 3 because it's one we've already talked about.
Okay.
But with Caves and Cliffs and the Wild Update, it just makes so much sense to see it in the game. That's Grappling Hook.
Right.
Just makes sense. Give people the rope option for decoration. Give people a way to traverse up and down easily. Grappling Hook.
And it fits with both the caves and the cliffs.
Exactly.
There are some cliffs. We did find cliffs.
There are some great cliffs in Caves and Cliffs now.
Yeah, especially off the side of our lake area, ocean/lake area.
I was so worried about that.
Me too.
I remember episode after episode, I was like, where's the cliffs, Minecraft?
Yeah.
Mojang, I don't see no cliffs here. What's going on? And man, there are cliffs aplenty, and they are gorgeous.
And they're almost like separate from the mountains. You see the mountains, and then, cliffs seem to be a totally different, like, generation almost. But I'm sure there's cliffs in the mountain too. But yeah, when I'm down in the caves, the caves are real open, and a grappling hook would come in handy there too, not just the cliffs.
And I'm not thinking about like a grappling hook where you shoot it and now a rope stays there. I'm thinking like a grappling hook where you can shoot it and it could pull you to where you're going. Imagine tying a rope to a loyalty trident, but instead of the trident coming back to you, you go to it.
Yeah, or like the fishing rod where you pull things towards you, but it pulls you.
Yeah. The Ender Pearl kind of already does this, but imagine being able to like shoot a grappling hook, and instead of going all the way to the top where the grappling hook was, you can stop halfway.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing I think this would work the best, the way I would use it more than anything else, is you're in the nether, there's glowstone hanging from the ceiling, so you shoot a grappling hook up there, and you work your way up towards the glowstone, and you're hanging from the rope, mining your glowstone, and then you could traverse back down the grappling hook and pick up your glowstone.
Ooh.
To me, that's the thing I see the grappling hook being the most useful for me.
Yeah, the nether would be a great place for a grappling hook. Forget the caves and cliffs.
I think a lot of people are going to be like, well, the Ender Pearl can do exactly what you're saying, except for in this situation, I want to be able to stop. I'm on momentum. I want to be able to say, that's a good point to attach to. I can then dangle at this point and get what I need. Or maybe I can grappling hook to a spot, dangle about 2/3 the way up, and then throw my Ender Pearl to teleport me off the grappling hook. That could be cool too. There's a lot of options without getting rid of other options.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would make the game a lot more fun too.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't take damage with a grappling hook. Well, we don't, I guess, but you do with the Ender Pearl.
If you slide down it too fast, you
Yeah.
rope burn.
Sure, if you let go at the wrong time, that could hurt.
Right.
But I could see you like as a spider, like Spider-Man, just like traversing the ceiling with your grappling hook. How cool would that be?
There would be someone who would be good enough to be able to shoot a grappling hook, swing, shoot a grappling hook, swing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the players nowadays, some of these players are pretty skilled when it comes to Minecraft.
Yeah.
And just traversing different obstacles. Parkour.
Parkour. But yep, that's my first item.
The one I'll start off with is my third also, a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
This is something I was just thinking of as we started the show. I had 2 of them down, which I can go a little bit more in depth with. But the hammer, this could be used as a weapon or for mining. Now, when you use the hammer, this kind of helps you break more than one block. You know, it'll damage every adjacent block around it. Now, the swing isn't like a pickaxe, you know, over and over and over. It's a pretty quick swing with the pickaxe. The hammer, you know, takes a little bit more time, and but you're breaking more than one block. That's what I could see you using it for.
Yeah, that could be really cool. So, say a pickaxe is, we'll go diamond pickaxe because that's the most recognizable thing in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 3 diamonds and then 2 sticks as the crafting recipe.
Yep.
A hammer maybe would take 6 diamonds and 1 stick. And like you're saying, maybe it only can break 5 blocks. So you have a cross pattern. You have the block in the middle, block on the top, left, right, and bottom.
Yep.
So you're breaking 5 blocks at a time.
Or one behind it.
Or one behind it.
Any adjacent. Yep. That's the way I see it.
But maybe the swinging motion, instead of it going dunk, 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 and that's about the time it takes to break an item with the pickaxe, maybe it's about 2 or 3 times longer to use the hammer.
Now, I'm sure you can balance it out. Maybe it's not as durable. You know, maybe it breaks a little bit. I imagine you could throw some enchantments on there. You can make up some enchantments for it.
Mm-hmm.
But talking as if it was just the item, you know, you'd have your diamond, your iron, and your gold hammers, you know, that could do less damage or even more undurable, but especially as a gold or wood. But
I definitely wouldn't recommend a gold hammer.
Right.
Gold's a very soft metal.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was thinking, we have this deep slate. It's hard to break. You know, maybe a hammer would make it a little bit more bearable if you can break more than 1 block.
Yeah.
You know, just cut your time just a little bit more. But yeah, just something that came off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
The hammer.
My second item is a slime shield. You would craft your normal shield, and then you would have to surround the shield in slime balls. And what that will enable you to do is when a projectile hits your shield, it bounces the projectile back.
Ooh.
I was thinking about this when we were fighting in the end, but how nice this would be.
Okay.
Especially if you're making a shulker farm. If you could stand in front of the shulker and keep making it shoot itself, the slime shield.
Yeah. Just hold your shield up. You might have to put mending on it.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe have some kind of XP. I'm sure there's a way to work that out. Now, what about like a sword? Would they have knockback? Would it cause knockback?
It would be as if you had knockback on your shield.
Yeah. I figured that's where you're going with it.
I've always wanted knockback on the shield because it made sense to be able to forcefully push somebody back with it. But adding slime to it kind of made sense now. And now you can block projectiles. Imagine going into the nether and a gas shooting a fireball at you and you put your shield up to protect yourself and now you're shooting it back at him.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, this idea actually came from Legend of Zelda. And Ocarina of Time, they have a shield called the Mirror Shield, which you can absorb magic and shoot it back at enemies. It's like, Minecraft needs a slime shield, does the same thing.
Yeah, but Minecraft, we have slime. And that does a bouncing thing, so...
Yeah,
I like that.
I do too.
We need more shields.
We do need more shields.
We need more shields. Get the one shield, square, it's,
It's a bit bulky. I can't ever get it in the proper place, so I don't know why I'm still carrying it. I still get hit all the time.
Yeah, I like the slime shield. My number 2, I think this was brought up a long time ago. I want to say it was brought up when we were talking with Logical Geek Boy. and that's Dynamite.
I don't remember.
Just a smaller version of TNT. Maybe it uses paper and gunpowder and sand. What's the sand for in Dynamite? Dynamite made or TNT? There's sand in TNT, I guess.
I think so.
I don't know, but that's how you make TNT. Maybe just a smaller version with Dynamite, and Dynamite can do just a little bit less damage, but it can be thrown. You can throw your Dynamite if you were mining somewhere, and like in the end, ancient debris, you just throw your Dynamite around and break open these, different blocks. Could also help with the deep slate.
Yeah, okay. So imagine a fire charge in the center spot, 4 gunpowder, up, right, left, bottom, and then in the 4 corners, paper.
Yeah.
Because that would give a fire charge another use instead of just fireworks.
Right. Yeah, and this way you don't have to spark it.
Exactly.
Like you would with a TNT. It would be, as soon as it left your hand, it would be lit. Yeah, so don't drop it.
As someone who just played like a ton of hours of Battlefield last night, grenade out.
Yeah, pretty much you got grenades with the Dynamite. But yeah, I could see it, being used as a weapon or mining. I guess similar to the hammer, just Dynamite.
Yeah, I really like the idea of Dynamite. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my number 1 enchantment is or I shouldn't say enchantment. My number 1 item is what started this whole thing that I thought would be really cool. And it came from Lodestone. So in order to do part of my lore with Winter a couple episodes ago, I had to go ancient debris mining for a lodestone. And I ended up putting this lodestone in my house now. Since we're done with the lore thing, I don't need it anymore. I hooked it up in my house so I could use, if I ever go exploring and I lose track of where my house is, I can whip my compass out and find home. But I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could teleport ourselves back home?
Okay.
The thought was, well, how would you do that? What's something that makes sense? And right now, the only food in the game that allows you to teleport, I went with food instead of pearls, because I don't want you to be able to throw this item. But
okay.
The chorus fruit, you can eat it and it teleports you a couple blocks around, right?
Right.
Well, I was like, well, what if you use that? And I was like, what if you take advantage of glow berries? Because right now you can eat them, but there's not a real significant reason to eat them.
Mm-hmm.
They're just kind of an emergency food source, as I call it. I'm starving to death. I need to eat something kind of food.
Yeah.
So what if you took a glow berry, and you can only make 1 at a time, by the way. You eat a glow berry, or not eat a glow berry. You take a glow berry, you surround that glow berry with gold. So now you have a golden glow berry, keeping with the theme of golden apples and stuff. Special foods, for some reason in Minecraft, get covered in gold.
Mm-hmm.
And then you place the golden glow berry on top of the lodestone. It now enchants the glow berry, and you can eat the glow berry wherever you are, and it teleports you back to the lodestone.
Okay. What if we called it a glistening glow berry?
That makes way more sense. I like it.
Because it's got the GL, glistening glow berry.
Yes, way better than Enchanted Glow Berry.
I was just thinking of the melon. I was like, yeah, even melons, you surround it in gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that being a thing. It just takes you where your bed is, or
where the lodestone is.
The lodestone, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd have to be expensive.
Well, I mean, lodestones aren't cheap.
Right.
And I would make it so you can't enchant multiple glowberries or whatever on a glow. Like, you can't have a stack of these enchanted things to try to get out. So it would be like you have a shield in your offhand, then you kind of gradually go to a Totem of Undying. Or if you don't want a Totem of Undying, you can have the glistening glowberries. So it's like, oh, I'm getting ready to die. Instead of using my Totem of Undying, I eat my glowberry and I teleport out of there.
Yeah, be a good way out.
Right.
Sometimes you're stuck in these situations where you just can't avoid death.
Exactly.
Oh, the void.
Yep.
Getting out, that'd be one way to get out of the void. You can jump in there with your totem. Doesn't mean you're going to survive.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's one way to beat the void right there. And we kind of need a way to beat the void.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just not a way out. Yeah, nice. To do my number one?
Yeah, what's your number one?
This is the first thing I thought of. I was thinking of this the other day, and that's a magnet or a magnet enchantment.
Okay.
But let me explain the magnet. The magnet, if held in your hand or offhand, this attracts any loose items. It just brings it to you. Now, I know if you get close to an item, you kind of pick it up anyway, but I'm talking like an 8-block radius, maybe inside of a chunk. I don't know, maybe, that's got some balancing to do, but yeah, it just attracts the items to you. This makes it to where you can kind of AFK and gather items up, maybe put hoppers underneath of you to where it's coming to you, and the hoppers grab it, It's an easier way. Instead of using like water streams, you can use this magnet. Or if like you lose your stuff and you can't quite get to it, or you can't find your sword that you haven't, you lost, the magnet will bring it to you, so you don't have to really go out and search for it. Yeah, I was thinking it maybe could be used for an enchantment on like pants. Pants don't have many enchantments.
Yeah. Well, my first thing I thought of was that's great for like in the Nether. You can't move items around that well.
Right.
But then I just realized we have the LA.
Yeah.
So the LA would act like a magnet.
Yeah, kinda. You'd have to give it the item.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would grab any of those items.
But no, I've liked the idea of magnet. Obviously, other people have too, because you can get that in modded.
You can?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're definitely in modded.
I remember, I think it was Legacy SMP, when they did their, weekly vote of what's going to happen on the server. They had players magnetized to each other, and they would like move towards each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the first thing I thought of when I thought of the magnet. Yeah, I think that's all I got for that.
That works out perfect because we are out of time. I think before I have Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Aubni, ChiefBigBear, Crock, FragileRock, Casey Plays Games, OB, viperoustuna, and WyreGuy. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
And if you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, rate us and follow us so you never miss a future episode. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All of the links will be in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.